Here's an example of a real estate automation that takes information from a form that is filled out by a potential client and merges it with a template to create a new document, and as well assigns it to the territory manager. It will then send an email, a Slack notification, and send the potential client to a Calendly invite. Now I'm going to show that these are empty here. These will be populated. And I'm going to kick off the form because one of the automation is checking every minute. So here we have Charles Woodson. His property is in Arizona. Submit that. And we have Geno Smith. His property is in New York. Now the first part of the automation takes whatever's filled out in those forms and puts it into our CRM, which is Airtable, and it'll place the information in the proper columns. This is instantly, and these two are connected directly through Make. Now here, once those records are created, it'll watch the Airtable for new records. This here shows that it's every minute, and then it'll then send that information to the router. The router will send the new record to the proper workflow based on the conditions that are set. For this example, I chose those conditions to be the state so that the potential client is routed to the proper real estate territory manager. Now, as I was talking, you probably saw that Slack notification come here, and we'll visit that at the end. So for Charles Woodson, his property was in Arizona. It comes here. Now these four here, it'll look at our CRM and it'll grab the territory manager's information. Here's actually the two submissions, Charles Woodson, Geno Smith. And then here's on our CRM, the territory managers. Now for Arizona, it was Sally Green. It'll then take the template that's hosted on Google Drive, which is here. And this is the names of the columns, and it's configured within here, and it plugs it into to the proper areas as listed here. And then it'll merge it, make a new document, and it puts it into right here. So as you can see, here's all of Charles' information. Here's the information for Sally Green. As a default, I have the listing price just defaulted into this. And then it takes the commission percentage from the agent, Sally's 6.21, and it plugs it into there. And then for this one, it'll create a single use schedule invite, and then it'll send an email to the client. Now, for simplicity, I just have this connected to my email, but let me bring that up. It's right here. And this information here is a template. It can be edited. Here's a single use link. And then it as well gives the potential client the sales listing agreement. Here's a Calendly. There's that. And then going to the Slack notification. So here's what I got for Charles Woodson. Okay, so it just notifies me as a, let's say if I was the real estate agent, I'd have it directed to the correct one. And then remember that we submitted the one for Geno, and because New York isn't listed here, I have a fallback workflow. And this says any state that's not listed, go ahead and just send me a Slack notification. Now this Slack notification says the territory, New York, is not in automation, add the new state. And then just to go back really quick, for the Google Drive and the template to be connected, I had to use Google Cloud, and basically it's an API that you make. You take the client ID, the client secret, you configure it, and as well give the proper scope to the data access. And that's pretty much it for this workflow.